My name is Tamara Wenzel. I live in Jacksonville. I've owned the Q1000 for about 4 months.
Yep.
And the blanket and the 735,
Oh, wow.
also for 4 months.
Awesome.
And I bought them primarily because I have adrenal fatigue and low thyroid and a lot of accompanying problems with that.
Okay.
And I listened to Dr. David, who said that I would get lots of energy from the laser, and that this would probably be the best thing to give my body energy first. And then the COSMODIC, and I've watched a lot of videos before coming, so I knew all the things it could do, like help people with eye problems and all that. And so I basically just wanted to come to see what was happening when, you know, if it was really what I had studied and seen on the videos was really going to be. Okay.
And what's been your experience since you've been here?
Oh, well, my experience is it's fabulous to watch a DVD or to read the book or look at the points on the body, but it's a different matter to actually help someone else or to put it on your own body, and then you really learn for yourself. So it's very important to actually come and have hands-on. And then you get to see all the other things that people are doing with them. So it opens up a lot of other ideas that you never thought of before.
Awesome.
See, that are really outside your own box, because you're kind of stuck in your own condition, or your spouse's condition, or my parents' condition.
Exactly.
Right. I'm not a practitioner of any kind, so I just bought it for my own home healing. Right. But since then, I have learned that, like in just the 4 months since I've had it, I talked to friends who've already heard about. Some of them are open-minded to that sort of thing, and it already had occurred to me that I had a wonderful opportunity to help them, but I really didn't know enough about their condition.
Oh, right.
So you see, now I see how other people have those conditions and how they're dealing with them, and actually it's a lot simpler than I thought, because when I went through all the DVDs and read things, I began to get more and more confused. You know how you learn and then you get to the point where you're really confused. But it turns out that these, because the products are regenerative, like you can't do anything wrong with the laser. It's going to give you energy no matter where you put it. So you can memorize a lot of modes which are basically unnecessary. You just have to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's pretty much the same with the COSMODIC, because it's going to think for you with its artificial intelligence, and it's going to regenerate. And even if you don't get it exactly on the right spot, if you get it nearby, it's going to help. And so then it all comes back to you that it's simpler, and to help someone could be simpler than you even thought possible. Because you see people right here being helped.
Awesome. Have you had any surprise benefits since being here?
Surprise benefits. Wow, I met some really neat people and have made some real permanent friends.
Awesome.
Right, because these are like-minded people that are very much different than the mainstream, very interested in alternative health. And that helps support, you know, what you personally are feeling about trying to move ahead and better yourself. It's really nice to be among a support group of people that are also trying to improve their health.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, that was a surprise benefit.
Yeah.
Right.
Would you recommend the programs anyway?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, for multiple layers of reasons. And then, of course, there's all the practitioners you meet as well.
Yeah.
And during the breaks, you get to ask them for your personal problems and get real detailed instructions on how things work and how they can make it work even better for you or your loved one or parent or whatever, and why it works, which is really wonderful. And they can actually explain to you why you got a benefit. Well, the reason it worked there was because you were working on that channel or that meridian, which you didn't even understand why it was working before, and they can explain it. And all the reflexive benefits in the body, you begin to understand that. And then it sort of comes on, a light bulb goes on in your head. for all those. Yeah, right. You begin to understand your own body better. It's as if, ever since I bought the instruments, I began to be more in tune with my own body.
Yeah.
For instance, I began to notice things like some of my adrenal problems. I'd have immune problems, and some days I would feel kind of poorly. So before I got the light on my body or anything, I would, for instance, go typical evening, go to the freezer, get a package of meat for dinner, take it out of the freezer and bring it inside, and my hand would be cold. And that's okay for a young person, but here I am, an old person, and the hand would hurt.
Yeah.
And then the pain would begin to radiate up my fingers as if I had frostbite, but I'd only been holding onto the piece of meat since I got out of the freezer.
Wow.
And then I'd have these little pains in the hand. Now, a traditional doctor would say, "Oh, that's just arthritis. I mean, you're just getting old," which is irritating, as a matter of fact, right? So that evening, for instance, I began to have those symptoms, and then I began to notice things like I'd have a reflexive pain on the bottom of my left foot.
Yeah.
Things I'd never noticed before at all, before becoming acquainted with the whole body.
Yeah.
And it's an ownership of your body. You become acquainted with your body, own it, and you own its responses. And then you realize how accountable you are. And you realize what you've been eating your whole life is garbage, and that you are what you eat, and it sort of sinks in that what your mother told you as a child could have been right.
Yeah.
That you are what you eat. But that you can undo all that, you can regenerate. Because once you become accountable, it starts the process.
Awesome.
See? Just even owning the instruments gives you the hope of regeneration, and it changes your mindset and your viewpoint. It changes your entire viewpoint. And so it's wonderful to be in a whole room of people with a fabulous viewpoint. Everyone is changing.
Yeah.
No matter who you talk to, they all have that same "I can do it" viewpoint.